All right, what's up, everybody? Here we are on another episode of the next round. Got a co-host with me this time, not flying this one solo. So,
What's up, guys?
Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, dude. And we are here today with Murphy Nadauld, founder of ReferPro, CEO, husband, father of 4 kids under 5. So that sounds like a very fun household over there.
Yeah, well, we're having fun. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. Great to be with you, Riley and Brandon, and looking forward to it. Yeah.
So appreciate you jumping on, man. For those that don't know, give us a little bit of the background. Where'd you grow up? What'd you kind of get into? And yeah, just fill us in.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a Utahn, born and raised here in Utah. We live in Lehigh now. I grew up in Springville, went to BYU, and now a lot in between. But now with ReferPro, as you talked about, and based here in Lehigh, growing the tech company. We've got an awesome team over here, and really working in the home service space, similar to you guys at Sequify. Helping automate referrals, word of mouth, getting new leads in the door for these home service businesses, and having a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Excited to be working with you guys and partnering. So
yeah, tech in the home service space. It's a thing. It's really growing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before, you started ReferPro, back in college days, you went to BYU.
Yeah,
right?
I went to BYU.
What'd you graduate in?
I graduated in Latin American studies. Very applicable.
There you go.
Super.
And business management minor. So,
okay.
Great experience to spent time at BYU. And the reason that I did Latin American studies, I had an offer to go work at Ubiquity, for Robert Pera and Ben Moore over there. Great experience. And I started working there my senior year. And so I was looking for the quickest way to graduate and move on to an exciting job opportunity and get into business as fast as I could. So,
yeah. And what did you do at Ubiquity?
It changed every month. Robert owns the Memphis Grizzlies. He's a visionary guy. Ubiquity is no one really knows about it, but it's Wi-Fi hardware and software that's in every office, every restaurant, every gym you go into. So it's a $20 billion public company that operates much like a startup. So it was a different project every month, every quarter. We were opening up warehouses and offices overseas, in Europe and Mexico and other places, managing our distribution channel, sales and operations. And then did a lot of partnership and retail, like Best Buy, Amazon accounts, Walmart, all of that US-based retail. So good experience just to dive in from some entrepreneurial things and work for a public company, but get to do a lot of different things. Learned a lot in those 5 years at Ubiquity.
Robert, right?
Robert Pera, yeah.
Billionaire.
Yeah, I think
gonna say it.
$20 billion guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a lesson that you learned from him? Like what is the thing that you think made him so successful compared to? I'm sure you got other offers and probably had other jobs and worked with other people. Like, what's the thing that you noticed from him?
Yeah, I got lucky with that job. Robert and Ben Moore brought me in, took a chance on me, still in school, going to class and then flying out to do a lot of this stuff while still in school, and so they definitely took a chance on me, and it was a blessing for me to grow in that environment. But yeah, from Robert and Ben, a lot of things stood out. They're visionary. I think they wanted to disrupt a huge market, right? You've got the Cisco, the Goliaths in the space, and they wanted to come in and make it easier for the customer experience, make it something that's easy for these businesses to use, and by doing that, increase adoption and usage. So that's something we're using today at ReferPro, trying to simplify, right? The easier it is for the customer to use and roll it out, the more they'll use it and the more success they'll have. So that was one thing that stood out there, was just easy to use products, which takes care of a lot of the other issues for sales and support and ongoing headaches if it's an easy to use thing. So
yeah, fewer the roadblocks, the fewer the bumps, the faster you can go.
Yeah, exactly, right? In any business.
Yeah. So from there, what's the pivot from that into home services tech? Like how'd you make that transition?
Yeah, we've kind of bridged those two worlds, right? The tech and the home services, which you guys are doing as well, and it's an exciting place to play in right now. A lot of private equity roll-ups and businesses that are growing and scaling and looking to implement technology and AI. And so, yeah, it's interesting. My background is in mostly tech and then also some home services. Spent some time with Ubiquity and then other startups, Luxonis, machine learning, AI startup, hardware and software as well. And then after that, spent some time rolling up a home service business it was a pretty short run, about a year, and we sold that to EcoBright, a more commercial nationwide company. And so that was the first glimpse of the problem that we're solving, was as a homeowner in the home service space, seeing how much referrals mattered, how much that affiliate marketing mattered and meant to us. Um, and then some personal experiences that all of us have, right? As you've done projects on your house, and everyone watching, you typically ask somebody what the HVAC company was, who the plumber was they used. So I had a project where we worked with 15 different home service companies, and in talking to every one of them, the problem was the same. They all had the same issue. Referrals were the biggest source of their revenue, but they had no way to track it, no way to automate it. And there's a stat I love. It says 83% of your customers are willing to refer, but only 29% actually do. So we saw that as a business owner. We saw that working with these businesses as a consumer, just, passing off referrals, and then they're never called, never followed up with. And your friends are like, hey, what's up? And so ReferPro, in essence, is just bridging those two worlds, home services and tech, and bridging the gap of the 83 that would prefer you, and then 29 that actually do, getting those leads. Yeah.
And that, I mean, like that number alone, that's what, more than 50% is the delta on there.
4% delta. So if we can get a little bit of that across the finish line, it moves the needle for a business, right?
What have you guys noticed? Your ReferPro's 2 years old now?
Yeah, coming up on 2 years.
And I'll come back to like the beginning days of it, but while we're on this topic, what have you noticed in incremental growth, ARR growth for companies of like, yeah, we kind of did it, we didn't test it, walk me through a couple case studies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you go check these out. They're on our website. We've got cool case studies across home services. And obviously it's dependent on the size of the business. Some of our customers have hundreds of technicians in the field, and some are a man in a van, or a one truck chuck, we call them.
Chuck in a truck.
Chuck in a truck, right? Yep. So there's two different worlds, and ReferPro solves the problem for both of them. But obviously it's a numbers game. The more customers you have, we want to utilize those customers and have them become your marketing team, right? Have them bring referrals to the table. So the results are incredible though, right? I mean, even the first month that customers onboard, there's customers doing hundreds of thousands in net new revenue that's attributed directly to ReferPro. And then you repeat that month over month, year over year. There's a huge compounding effect to those referrals of people, a new referral coming in. And we're even getting case studies where the person referring wasn't even a customer. They ended up going with a competitor, but they heard about the referral program. And they said, hey, we'll send people your way, right? So there's an exciting momentum that's being built there. And yeah, the case studies are pretty incredible, with hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in new revenue for each individual location of a logo. So,
yeah. And the power of social media on top of that too, right? Of like, I'm just thinking, you got the TikTok now, you've got Instagram stories of people just posting and highlighting the thing. And then like you're saying, here's the link, right? Like go to it, actually click something that can then take me to what I need, not necessarily just, oh, cool, look at what actually happened. It like there is a call to action now that actually does drive them somewhere. Have you guys seen clients push into the that marketing channel of using influencers or having just user generated content drive the needle for them more than just their current employees or like technicians?
Yeah, absolutely. And ReferPro is the bones to deploy that, and it can be with your customer base. Obviously everyone's doing that. It can be B2B. They're all working with different businesses that are referring business back and forth. It can be with affiliates or, micro influencers. It could be big influencers, but more common, it's a micro influencer. They uses it, posts it on their social media accounts, and our referral forms have a way to do that easily. So you're giving them the tools, the technicians, the customers, the micro affiliates and influencers, and everyone involved, the tools to go effectively and easily generate new referrals, right? So yeah, definitely. That's a huge, Facebook groups, community pages, and I don't know, we're in the
Nextdoor app, all the neighborhood stuff,
Exactly. You guys are probably in those Facebook groups. Or, hey, I'm looking for a window washer. I'm looking for a pest control company. I'm looking for XYZ. That's where it.
And tell me from a customer standpoint, the ease of use for them to refer their friends, their family, what's that experience like for the customer to get that lead to the company?
Yeah, very smooth. And that's one of the big roadblocks of, you talk to a home service company now, or really any company, and most of them live and die by referrals, 70% of their business. But there's reasons that we figured out why people don't refer. And one of them is because ease of use, right? You got to be front of mind. You've got to make it easy to do. So every customer, every technician, every employee has a personalized referral link. And to your question, the way that we get that to them is there's multiple different channels. It's text post service after a job is completed. It's an email post service. There's campaigns they can run. They automatically do that in the background to make sure that those end customers are getting the offer right, and incentives to say, hey, here's the incentive, $250 per successful referral. There's then tools for the technicians and the employees to get involved. Businesses want to get their employees, they train them, they coach them on how to collect referrals and other things, right? Post payments and reviews and whatever else. So we give them tools to help with the referral piece of that on the job site, face to face, that human element and interaction.
So backpedaling a bit here, you built a home service company, right? Post being part of Ubiquity, and what was the other one called? Lexonics.
Yeah, Lexonics. Yeah.
How did you get into home services? Like, what was the draw?
Yeah, and you've probably seen this as well. There's been a big shift in home services where before it was, I don't know, not popular per se,
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you've got people that are finishing their MBA and going to start a home service company, get into roll-ups.
Yeah.
So there's a big PE play. And so I've followed along with that. And it was just an exciting space. And I've always been an entrepreneur. I had a window washing company in high school and college, and had some other businesses of my own. And so it's just natural to want to start something on my own. And transparently, there was a pretty low barrier to entry in that business that we did. And so we started it, and it just grew faster than we thought. It kind of just took off. It wasn't totally intentional. We started it and see where this will go, kind of a thing, and got some big contracts with property managers, things like that, and other things, and it went pretty quick. So
yeah. Most of our audience is in the home service space, whether they're doing pest control, solar, roofing. How did you find good operational talent for your home service business when you were running it?
It's a big challenge. I think every owner of a home service company could attest to that being difficult, and it's building a culture, building systems and processes in place. I think that's the main priority there is having those systems and processes in place. And we did a lot of things. We got a lot of referrals from people that worked for us, the people that they knew that we brought in. We're using that now at ReferPro. These home service businesses want to recruit. The bigger ones want to recruit technicians, and so they use their existing technicians to incentivize them.
Yeah.
Facebook would hire, even when we got busy, would hire other cleaning companies to come and do the jobs, kind of outsource, contract that work out when we were too busy. Yeah. So a few different ways. But.
Yeah, going along with that as well, what was the transition like, coming from a public company, 20 billion, whatever it's worth, going to a startup where you're bootstrapping everything? What was it like for you, the experience there, kind of the stresses you had, family life as well, to grow that business up to where it was acquired, correct?
Yeah, we sold it to EcoBright. Yeah, totally different, right? Tech to home services, huge public company to a home service startup is 9-day different. The good part was Ubiquity and Lexonis did operate much like a startup, so it was a similar mentality. And so taking some of those same skills and just putting them into a new industry and building out those processes. But it was, entrepreneurship, as all of building businesses, you've done it with your businesses, and it's not for everyone. It's fun. I love it. It lights me up. It's what I wake up excited to do every day. But there's challenges obviously along the way that you got to overcome. And I wouldn't say it's ever easy, but it's worth it. Yeah,
definitely.
And so when you got acquired, you mentioned it was pretty quick, right? Like within about a year.
Yeah.
On there. Was it something you wanted to do? Was the goal like, hey, let's go scale this and see what can happen? Or was the offer just like too good to pass up type thing?
Yeah, it was actually more that we had, at that time we were building another software company.
Okay.
With the home service company.
Yeah.
And we started to get this feedback from home service companies for ReferPro before we had written a line of code. People were giving us credit cards and signing up based on the concept. They wanted us to go build it. And so we basically pivoted the software company and started building out ReferPro very, very early, MVP. And so it was more of, we saw a massive opportunity with ReferPro and technology that is not always, it's just a different dynamic in home services. And so It was more of, hey, we feel like we've grown really, really fast, and there's an opportunity for an exit so that we can go really take advantage and go all in, because software, you got to be all in or all out. And so we made the decision. It was a tough decision because it was going really well, but we felt like it was the right time to do ReferPro. So that was mostly why we made that pivot and changed. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then starting to build the MVP, walk me through those early days. I saw a post, I guess I don't know how long ago this was, but you had the one office on the left with the two people that you had compared to where the team's at today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember that, you know, of like where it was in the beginning, the first couple clients getting brought on board. So walk me through the early days of actually building it up, and tech breaks sometimes and you get feedback that you don't want feedback.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And you guys have gone through this. And like you mentioned, we're in our 4th office in the past year and a half now. Went from a 2-person office to where we're at now. And it's fun to see where we started to where we're at. I think, like you mentioned, tech breaks, early stages in the MVP, and it's a lot of customer communication, talking face to face, person to person, or on the phone at a minimum with owners and operators, technicians, CSRs at all of these home service companies, and saying, here's the product, where do we iterate from here, and getting that customer feedback. And so proud of our team for how we've iterated over the years and how we continue to do that. I think it's important to stay close to the customer, solve a problem that actually needs to be solved. And so that was a lot of the early days, was just a lot of conversations with customers, getting feedback, watching them use the product, making it easier and simplifying how they use it, fixing the bugs when they popped up. Now we're in a spot where we've got an awesome engineering team, and there's not those bugs and issues like there were in the very early days, but definitely exciting in the early days. Yeah, as you've seen with Sequify, you guys are about a year in now. Is that right? Year and a half?
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, so we're kind of following a similar trajectory here, building side by side. So it's fun.
And with, I guess, what would be like a piece of advice for other small tech or full cup founders, right? Guys that might not even be home service specific, or if they are, you know, pest control owner, but they know that this tech needs to get built and they need to go do something. What would a piece of advice be to them?
Yeah, I think what you said is make sure the tech needs to be built first. I've talked to so many people. I've had such great mentors that have helped us get to where we're at. Couldn't have done it without their insight, and they've done what we've done before we've done it. And so now it's one of my favorite things is having people ask those same questions in the early days. How'd you do X? How'd you do Y? And help and kind of giving back. And the number one thing is just a lot of people will come in with a cool idea and they'll just go build it and run with it. And then 6 months later, they find out people don't really want it. So in my opinion, you've got to validate product market fit before you spend a ton of money in development and sales. You got to go get a little bit gritty and go talk to people and see if they'll actually give you a credit card for it before you build anything. That's my number one advice. I told someone that last week because there's great ideas, right? And customers will validate and say, oh, it's cool. I love it. Great idea. But until someone gives you a credit card, it doesn't mean anything. So
especially, I mean, you kind of briefly mentioned this, but with the speed of AI today, I can go build something very quick, but also that also means the people can do the same thing, right? It's like, just because I can build it quicker now doesn't mean that I'm going to get people to pay me faster for it.
Yeah.
Until they're actually proving that they are going to pay, and then you can go build it faster and continue to scale it from there.
Absolutely. It's changing the whole industry for home services and all of tech, right? What are you guys seeing with AI in your space and in your product line?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, similar thing. It's like, can we take what we have and actually put it through it? 60-70% of the time it does it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're still not completely all the way there. But the thing I like about it is that it does force us all to level up, right? With a high tide, all ships rise.
Yeah.
So it now forces the playing field to be a little bit more level, because if we're not going to use it to implement it, somebody else is. And then it's going to, once again, get kind of put back on us there. So it's a fun game to be in.
Yeah, it's a fun space. It's like the gold rush all over again with it.
Right? It's
exciting. Yeah.
So with where you guys are at, you guys just raised a seed round back in September.
Yeah,
last year.
September of last year. Yeah.
Talk to me about that process. I mean, we'll get to the numbers, we'll get into all the fun stuff, but the initial process of it, did you always know building ReferPro, we're going to go the VC route of here? We want to go scale this thing fast. Like, walk me through that.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, it was bootstrapped at the start, self-funded essentially, which Yeah, talk about taking a risk, right? Is bootstrapping a software startup, and so put all the risk in up front. Put all the money into it early days and got things off the ground, got that initial traction. We have some great investors and VCs. They're all Utah based. We're based here in Lehigh, Utah, and our VCs are as well. Um, we had developed those relationships throughout 2024 and before that with the awesome team at what's now Stalwart Ventures that led that round. They were Rev Road Capital,
Yep.
and awesome team over there. Initially, Scott Peterson really believed in us, and we're grateful for his mentorship, and he did a lot for us in those early days, even before investing, brought a ton of value. And um, and now working closely with Rochelle Morris and David Mann and the rest of the team over there. And then two other Utah VCs upstream and All In Ventures participated in that round. And so, yeah, it wasn't the plan early on. Kind of as we got more traction and as we saw the opportunity expanding, things fell into place. Find the right investors, the right partners that not only provide the capital to scale the business, but also bring a lot of insight. They've brought incredible connections, partnerships, customers, all sorts of operational knowledge and experience. And so, yeah, it's an exciting process. Fun to go through that. It'll, and once you get on that, you know, now we're growing and looking for Series A at some point, right? And so, yeah, but gave us the tools that we needed to really get ReferPro to the next level, which is what we've done over this past year. So
Yeah. And not to ask this question in a negative way, but what's something that was difficult during the raising,
yeah,
or something that you didn't expect,
yeah.
that you were like, hey, kind of didn't fully understand it or didn't expect this to go this way? What do you think?
Yeah, tell me if you guys saw this, but for me, it was just I like to spend time building the company. There's so much to do as a founder, and so every day there's more work to do than hours in the day, and so it was just a slight distraction from building, in my opinion. Like, and it wasn't bad. It was everyone was going as quick as possible. The VCs made it easy, but I love to just spend time on the company and building, and so it was a little bit of an adjustment to spend a lot of time, raising the capital. And it's an important part of the business. It's necessary, but
Yeah.
it was kind of diverts energy sometimes from building, right? I don't know. You guys seen that same thing in your experience?
I mean, it definitely happens because it's like you said, we're so focused in the business that now we're being pulled away from it to get the money to reinvest in the business. So like we understand the full cycle of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, from your standpoint, being the CEO, being the more of the visionary side of it, right? Not are you the technical guy? Do you know the coding?
I'm not the tech. I'm the business guy. We've got some really
Okay,
smart
cool.
engineers in the office
Yeah.
that take care of that piece for us. Yeah.
But being in that seat of like, I need to go scale this, I need to go grow this, but I'm being diverted over here. I mean, obviously understanding, right? It's needed, but at the same time, I mean, we felt it as we
Yeah.
were trying to do it as well. And really just being prepared and having the decks and being like, cool, there's a lot of interest. Let's make sure that we can push this so that we can just get back to the core of it,
Yeah.
right? Condensing that time, getting the money, and then scaling from there.
And yeah, to the credit of our investors, once we found the VCs that we ended up ultimately going with, they made it super simple. It was kind of that process leading up to that of however many different VCs you talk to during those processes, and
Right.
it's part of the deal though. It's a good
Right.
it's a good experience, and there's lots of great. What's exciting is all three of our VCs are in Utah. Utah has just changed so much. Silicon
Sure.
Slopes, where you guys are here too in Lehigh. It's a different world now.
Yeah.
From a startup and technology perspective, but also investors and VCs and that influence that's really grown over the past few years. So it's an exciting place to be building right now, for sure.
Outside of the capital, because obviously it's needed from the VCs, what other insights have they given you, whether it's employees, talent, right? That's
Yeah.
something that they're very well tapped into or connected. Partners, vision, overall pricing structures. I mean, what's some of the insights you've gotten?
Yeah, endless. I mean, some of our VCs, some of them run businesses, some of them involved in home service roll-ups. Some have reported directly to Steve Jobs at Apple and have great tech experience, or executives at Amazon. And so they've brought a unique perspective on all of those things. They've made key intros to some of the CRM partners that we work with today
Nice.
on those integrations. They've helped us hire and create a really great culture, from an employee perspective, from a management and operational KPI perspective, helping with our financial models, right? And some of those things that helping with, we've got strengths internally on the team, and then they really fill the gaps on some of those weak points. And so can't emphasize it enough. It's in addition to the capital, it's just the expertise and the knowledge that those VCs bring to the table. And we were lucky with VCs that brought areas that have been game changers for us in growing the business, making intros. They're selling for us. Time they talk to a home service business, they're bringing the lead over. So it's exciting.
Yeah. It's always nice to, I mean, are they set up on ReferPro? Do they have?
Yeah, we use it internally. So all of our employees have their own links. Everybody. Yeah.
Love it.
Our number one source of new leads and new business closed this year has been referrals by far.
So, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome to see. Talk to me about your guys' partnership with Service Titan.
Yeah.
Whether it's like how it came about, what it looks like for you guys from a marketing standpoint, from just an overall business standpoint.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, partnership. We're rolling out a lot of partnerships right now. We're excited about this Equify partnership. We onboarded Service Titan a couple months ago, in addition to Jobber and Job Nimbus, some of the other CRMs. Service Titan's an awesome one. Their customers have just loved it. It's, we work in that space, obviously, as you do, and a lot of our customers are home services. They're all home services. Service Titan customer base of HVAC and garage doors and electricians and roofer. Not as much roofers, but definitely some roofers. It's just a natural fit, and so we're really excited about that partnership. We're able to make it easier, and a goal for us is those businesses using Service Titan is to push that data back into Service Titan. So that mirrors what the ReferPro dashboard looks like. They can see the attribution, what's coming from referrals. They can send out their campaigns. They can reward and incentivize their customers and employees, just making their lives easier as part of that integration. And so it was a very natural fit. We're grateful for the team over there that's made it a great partnership, and looking forward to their event coming up this September. I think you guys will be there at Pantheon, and
we'll be there.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership. So
nice. Because that's, what I really like about what you guys are building is there's a direct ROI. It's, when it comes to it, it is a math equation for the business owner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. They're spending the money somewhere, whether it's online, on ads, on commissions even, right?
Yeah.
But actually seeing what the return on that investment looks like. So what have you noticed, doesn't matter the company size, but just like what's the overall attitude once they're 2-3 months into using ReferPro?
Yeah. They love it. It is ROI based, and it also takes off a lot of the weight from their team, their office staff, their technicians, their CSRs that are managing those things manually.
Right.
So like you said, the spend is going to traditional marketing methods. Maybe it's Meta ads, Google ads, billboards, yard signs, you name it. They're spending, in some cases, crazy amounts of money on those things. Yeah. And then you ask them, where do you get most of your customers? And it's always without fail referrals, right?
Yeah, word of mouth.
And so it's like, okay, well, what are you investing in referrals? And it's always just nothing, crickets. Mm-hmm. And it's totally fair. That's how business has always been done, just naturally let it happen. But we have so much data from the millions of data points now to know what moves the needle, how you get your customers to refer, what that verbiage looks like, when you should send it, what that incentive amount needs to look like. And so we're able to give them that data to, streamline that process and make it easier. So yeah, it's converting a small portion of that other marketing fund, and the results after 2 or 3 months are typically the CAC is 3x lower than what we spend on our Meta Google ads.
Wow.
Almost every time. It's we spend a third of the cost and we got more revenue attributed to referrals than we did from our Google ads. And so it's fun. It's fun to see that and make a big difference into the company. It's meaningful to reduce CAC and make it more efficient marketing spend.
Yeah. Even for, just in the home service space, working with some of these owner operators, right? Like a 3x difference can be very substantial for them.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah. A company that's doing 8 figures in revenue, like it's not just a mishap on the P&L, right? There's a big difference in that. But for some of these other businesses, that is the way that they can scale. That is the way that they can put more food on the table, that they can actually now go hire additional people to really build up a true company on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And hire more people with those additional funds, and then make that job smoother so those people can do more.
Right.
Where there previously, a lot of these businesses will mail out checks or buy physical gift cards, drop them off. It's a big headache to distribute those incentives for referrals, on top of keeping track of who you even owe those referral incentives to. It's very common that companies will run a referral program, and if you refer Jane, you never get paid out on that. And then you become a little bit bothered, like, hey, you told me you're going to pay me.
Bitter. Where's my
Yeah, it's
money?
like you're making your customers mad instead of now at the click of a button, they get that incentive within 2 days.
It's all automated.
Yeah, now Brandon's
great.
out there looking for people to send your way versus being bothered that you didn't pay out the incentive you promised. And so
Telling everybody.
yeah, exactly. That's what happens, right? Is they get those users through the platform and it builds momentum. Then they go tell everyone else and it builds just this network of referring customers. And you turn all that marketing spend, wouldn't you rather pay, this is what customers say a lot of the time too, after 3 months, is we would way rather pay our customers that $100 or $250 versus put that into Google Ads.
Yeah.
It's more efficient and it's going to people that we want to give back to. These are people we want to take care of.
Right. What's on the roadmap for you guys? I mean, what was it, 500 something % growth last year?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it ended up being like 700% this past year.
I was way off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
rounding error.
We're growing fast. So, exciting things. Yeah. I mean, we're growing across the board, as are you guys. It's fun. Yeah, exciting roadmap. We've got a great product offering that our customers love. There's a lot of great feedback that we have, and an exciting roadmap. Some of it, I can talk about. Some of it is, maybe not. But we've got obviously, as we've talked about AI, we're embedding AI into every piece of the product. Some of it's already there. There's other elements that we're expanding on and building into the platform, and we've got, as I mentioned, these millions, tens of millions of data points now of people and users that are all that data that we can give insights to these businesses. So on one perspective, it's a software that a home service business can use. On another perspective, it's a lot of data of, if you're an HVAC company in Illinois, you now have access to the data and best practices based on what thousands of other businesses are using across the country.
Right.
So you can insights that you wouldn't otherwise have if you didn't have access to the platform. So that's a big piece of it. AI making these home service business owners' lives easier, and yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome, man. Well, to kind of wrap us up here, I mean, this has been great. Appreciate you coming on. What's a piece of advice you'd give to a home service business right now? Let's say they're, first couple of years, still trying to grow it, still kind of figuring themselves out. What, based on the conversations that you have with business owners right now, where do you see this landscape going, and what could you provide to them?
Yeah, the advice is the same on these two different perspectives. One is as a massive business that's doing hundreds of millions in revenue, and one is the chuck in a truck who's just starting out. I think the advice is the same, and it's building systems and processes and implementing technology. The businesses that don't implement technology now will get left behind 100%. And so it's implementing systems and processes within your team and technology to automate a lot of the things that you should do. So obviously we're biased. Referrals are one of those things. Automate that. Let it happen in the background. Why waste your time leaving referrals on the table if you can let that happen automatically? And there's, add Sequify, add any other of these home service softwares in any given space to take care of your team. The difference of adding a software like Sequify and adding a software like ReferPro, one takes so much lift off of that owner's shoulders, so that when you leave, when the owner takes off for a week or steps out, things don't fall apart. There's processes, there's automation and software in place. That's the biggest difference. I think a lot of these new home service companies, I know because I was there starting a home service company, it's fire after fire after fire. And if you can put the right systems and processes in place and automations with AI that's getting better every day, it's a game changer. So I'd love to hear what your perspective is from the Sequify angle. What's your advice, and what do you coach these businesses up on?
I mean, I don't want to just copy paste, but it is to have something work while you're not working.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just the day that we're in with tech right now.
Well, with the parameters and the firewalls that you're talking about with technology, right? And the problems they're going to have are going to be limited, right? Because they can't go too far off the beaten path, right? When you're gone, the softwares we run in the background, taking care of everything within those parameters there. So your team can take care of it while you step away and do what you need to do, and run smoothly there. So
it's the adage of, you try and automate it, you try and delegate it, or you try and eliminate it.
Yeah.
Automate it is like, there's so much going on with AI today. There's so much with just tech and systems out there where, yes, it's never going to take care of somebody's job completely. But can I reduce my cost because I can now have systems to do these things so that the business can, one, not only be more efficient, and my EBITDA can increase, but now I can actually have more time to myself. Or I can have one person managing 10 things instead of 10 people each individually trying to manage that.
Yeah.
So what does that now allow for the business to now truly scale, go leverage capital better, go leverage team, go leverage everything inside of it.
I love that. We talk about that a lot too, because some people think AI is going to take their job, and that's not the case at all. I mean, in some cases maybe, but most of the time, and especially in our situations, it's like you said, allowing that person, maybe it's a CSR, to, instead of banging their head against the wall all day trying to do the same thing, is automate that stuff that can be automated with AI and software, so that you can spend your time on things that only you can focus on. So it's just, it's enabling them to stay busy, get those technicians so they've got jobs to do, keeping the business running, and improving margins at the end of the day too, reducing costs. It's exciting what can be done with AI. It's fun to be a part of it.
Definitely. Well, Murphy, appreciate you being on, man. This is fun.
Good to be here.
Coming by.
Thanks for having me, Riley and Brandon. This was awesome.
Okay.